What is going on, Sports Wars? We're here, we're live, and we're back. Back in the normal location, not doing it from a car, not doing it from a hotel. John Matrix is back. We're ready to rock and roll. Week 9 of the NFL. What was this? Week 10 of college football, getting down to the wire. College basketball is about to start back up. NBA season's in the swing, and the World Series just got over. So we got a lot of shit to talk about today. Before we get to it, what's up, Beardo?
Yeah, man, it feels good to be back. I'm finally just getting settled down, man, and recovering from a long, week and a half of just a whole bunch of festivities going on with Geeks and Gamers crew. So it's good to be back.
For sure. And John Matrix from Black and White Sports, what's up, man?
Oh, not much, man. Good to be here. Cowboys play early. Guess we'll get to the pits. Not too excited about the Cowboys' chances today, but hey, this season has been a train wreck.
Trayvon Diggs is going to play, right?
I don't know.
I think he is. At least I think they're trying to have him play today. So we'll see. We know Ezekiel Elliott's not going to play.
He's out.
Some sort of disciplinary action from the team. I don't know if that's the thing that caused him not to get on the charter flight to make it, or if it was something that happened before that. I don't know.
He's upset about his carries, man. He's not getting any touches. But hey, you washed up, man.
You should do something with him if you want touches. But I mean, honestly, the Cowboys team is kind of a nightmare right now, certainly based on where they expected to be and where they were last year versus where they are right now. Jerry Jones catching a lot of flack pretty much every single week when he goes out to do these interviews. He is getting shit on hard. But that's been the story of Jerry Jones as a general manager for quite some time now, as I'm sure John can attest.
Yep. Going on 28 years he's been catching heat.
As long as Jerry Jones is the owner of the Cowboys, they will not sniff a Super Bowl.
Not sniff? So what is that?
Not even get fucking close.
Does that mean you won't even make it to the NFC Championship? I feel like that's when you get to
But they haven't
sniffing.
done that either.
In a championship game, that's when you start sniffing, I think.
It won't happen. They won't reach an NFC Championship, let alone a Super Bowl, with Jerry Jones as the manager. Throw in Steven Jones in there, too. Might as well.
Okay, fair enough. What about the Giants?
Listen, we've won. I mean, the Maras are one of the most prized and decorated ownerships in all of the NFL. The Rooneys with the Steelers and the Maras with the Giants. They've gone back to when the NFL was first founded. So the ownership isn't the problem. It's I don't know. It's whoever the fuck our GM is. I mean, it seemed promising 3 years ago with our first year with Dable, and that turned out to be fool's gold. So.
Did he win Coach of the Year? Some shit?
His rookie year. Yeah, Dable's rookie year with the Giants. We made the playoffs. We beat the Vikings in the playoffs. We made it to the divisional rounds in the playoffs, and then we lost. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and I don't think listen, Jerry could be a great owner, right? Just do his thing, make it all fancy. Hey, it's fucking Jerry World, Dallas. But when it comes to general managing, that's where Jerry Jones needs to and should have realized a long time ago, take a step back. He's not the guy for the job. But
Ryan, did you see the Memphis Tigers wide receiver celebration? He did the Ronaldo celebration.
I just did because you fucking put it in the private chat, and I was not expecting to see that. But yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
show it
if you want to. He hyperextended his knee, and I'm sure that there was probably some ligament damage in there. Have you seen this, John?
No, I haven't.
Listen, you got to be careful when you get when you're doing these celebrations, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you can't get too amped up. You can't let your celebration after you did a great thing destroy the rest of your year. And right here, Memphis Tigers wide receiver Demir Blankumzi, actual name, hyperextends his knee doing Cristiano Ronaldo's celebration. Here we go. Check it out. Boom.
Oh. Yikes.
God, man.
Man.
I hope he's not injured long-term from that, but that does not look great.
Nope.
No.
That doesn't look great. But anyway, But yeah, we got a couple things to go over. First, before we even get to super chats, I know it's been like 5 days since this happened or whatever the hell it is, but the World Series is over. Yankees versus Dodgers World Series only went 5 games. The Yankees had an epic collapse in the 5th inning.
Yes, they
Can't
did.
really put that on
Massive.
Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole pitched incredibly well.
Aaron Judge was straight trash.
Well, there was you can put it on Aaron Judge. He missed that. He missed that line
if he
drive.
makes that catch, man, they're out the inning.
Well, then also Rizzo with the ground ball, and he didn't hustle his way to first base. Granted, Garrett Cole also wasn't covering first base as well.
Garrett Cole should have covered. And if you go back and look at that, like Rizzo's looking at Garrett Cole as he's running, the ball takes it's like a weird spin on the ball. So instead of it basically going between Rizzo's legs and him momentum being able to go, the ball starts kind of careening back, and he's forced to kind of stall up and get the ball over on this side. So he's had to stop and go back the other way. All his momentum's gone. And by the time he looks back up, Garrett Cole isn't running anymore.
Right. Yeah. If you look at the replay, it looks like there's enough time for Rizzo to hustle his way over to first base, but Garrett Cole should have been there to cover. And then the underthrow to third base from the shortstop to Jazz to throw out when they had a man on first and second to finally get one out, and that was an underthrow. And now all of a sudden you find yourself with bases loaded.
Yeah, I think there was 5 runs given up in that inning. I don't think any of them were earned.
All unearned.
None were earned.
So, I do think the Dodgers were the better team. I thought that they would win going into it, and I think they played better in nearly every aspect than the Yankees. But that's a rough way to have your World Series end if you are the Yankees, even though you're down 3-0, even though you have virtually no hope of coming back 3-1 at the point where Game 5 is taking place. But to be up 5-0, Aaron Judge finally hits a bomb. You got Jazz Chisholm that immediately follows that up. I think Stanton hit one later. You're up 5-0. You're cruising. Garrett Cole's pitching incredible. And it's all gone in a blink of an eye, and the game starts over again. That was pretty devastating. For them.
A bigger problem is, why in the hell were the Yankees, why did they keep pitching to Freddie Freeman? Why did they do that? That was idiotic because he just destroyed them. One of the reasons why the Rangers, remember they beat the Astros in Game 7. Eventually, they stopped pitching to Yordan Alvarez. You can't pitch to him. Freddie Freeman, man, was hot, and they kept pitching to him. That's just idiotic, man. You can't do that.
I just think that Dodgers lineup, they were all hot except for Shohei. So it's like
who was injured.
Who was pretty much injured. But like you're picking the lesser of 8 evils there at that point. They were all on.
What is Freeman?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, so you've got like that lineup goes Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie Freeman, and I don't know
Hernandez, and then you got
Oscar Hernandez usually
Oscar Hernandez as well. Yeah.
Exactly. It's so you could say, hey, let's stop pitching that, but I mean, you've got a lot of other weapons on that team you got to worry about. Kind of same with the Yankees on the other side. And it also is going to depend on when he's up. You know what I mean? It's one thing to not pitch to him if there's no men on base. But fuck, if you're sitting there, you got 2 on, 1 out. It's just not pitch to Freddie Freeman. It's just it's difficult.
Mm-hmm. And it was game 1. It was game 1 in the
Grand Slam in game 1.
Yeah, but in extra innings, they intentionally walked Mookie Betts to get to Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Freeman had 4 home runs and 12 RBIs.
Games 1, 2, 3, and 4, he had bombs.
Yeah, he absolutely deserved
going
MVP.
Back to didn't he hit 2 home? Like at one point, he had hit home runs in like 6 straight World Series going back to the Atlanta days, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Especially because he was injured. He was hurting throughout this playoff run as well. Shohei Ohtani, I thought Shohei Ohtani had a solid postseason. Didn't have a very good World Series, but he dislocated his shoulder in game 1. Who really knows how much that kind of affected him? But
it was game 2, right?
Aaron Judge, like this is now not just a small sample size. Aaron Judge postseason,
he's not that great. Yeah,
he had that home run in the first inning. Man, if he didn't have that, he would have been basically blanked.
Right. Yeah.
Dude was batting like, I don't know, 140 at this postseason, something like that.
It's kind of funny, you know, because Aaron Judge always complaining about the Astros, and the Astros, they didn't have to play him, and then he still fucking sucks.
I don't know about always. I think everybody complained about the Astros once they were caught blatantly cheating and wearing buzzers.
He hit a few home runs against the Astros, but he was striking out a lot against the Astros too in the
well, that's Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has notoriously been known for he's either hitting bombs or striking out.
Yeah.
That is now over the last decade and a half. Like, strikeouts used to be something that was just so completely frowned upon by everybody, right? At least put the ball in play, blah, blah, blah. Now, strikeouts, depending on the situation, can be an acceptable alternative to grounding out. You know, when you look at these analytics, people don't mind guys with a lot of strikeouts as long as they are hitting home runs.
I still don't like guys that strike out a lot.
I don't like it necessarily either. But it's kind of the same thing with the 3-point shot in basketball. It's kind of fucking annoying how much it's happening, but there's a reason that it's happening. And it's because now that we have the analytics, it's like, okay, you know, it actually makes way more sense to take a semi-open 3-point shot than a contested 18-foot fadeaway jumper, you know, just because of the extra point you get.
But that's why I was never a big fan of Sammy Sosa. He had, 3 straight 60 home run seasons. You're probably never going to see that again. Dude struck out a ton. I was never a bit Sammy Sosa fan.
You just don't go down.
You just weren't a Sammy Sosa fan because we were literally bending over the Astros and butt fucking them when you were still in our division before you had to run away to an easier fucking division and an easier league. Shut the fuck up, John.
Actually, at the time, when the Astros actually went to the AL, remember Albert Pujols, that was the time he was still great, and he went to the Angels, and the Astros sucked at that time. But then, of course, everything changed, and then the Astros got great, and Albert Pujols started sucking.
Well, he got fat.
Yeah.
And old. He was like 40.
Yeah. And he had plantar fasciitis in I don't know, both of his fucking feet.
Yeah, I think it's been 10 years now since the Astros went to the AL. But I do miss the NL, man. I love playing the Cardinals and the Cubs in the NL. Hey,
it was too tough for you guys. I get it. You know, had to step down a league. I get it.
Tough. Okay.
You go play against the Angels fucking 25 times a year. You're gonna have a better record. It makes sense. So.
It still astonishes me how awful the Angels are, despite having Pujols, Mike Trout, Shohei. They still sucked.
Well, when they had Shohei, Albert Pujols already had one foot in the grave. Albert
but
Pujols
it seems like
was
no
not
matter
good.
who they get,
he wasn't even playing first base anymore. He was just a DH.
Yeah, that's true.
When he signed that contract, people thought he was like 30 years old, and he was probably like 33 or 34 because he probably lied on his birth certificate.
Could be.
You know? So when he was at his age 40 season, the reason he fucking dropped off so hard those last couple of years probably because he wasn't actually 37. He was probably like 41. You know?
But then all of a sudden,
it's always been my theory about Albert Pujols.
All of a sudden, he got hot his final season and started hitting home runs again.
Yeah, back with St. Louis.
Yeah, funny how that works.
He had a little surge, a little resurgence.
Going back to the World Series, Juan Soto, he had a clubhouse interview where he said, yeah, I'll be looking at every single contract from every single team. And he even said, he's like, yeah, out of the 30 teams, probably 28 want me. So he goes, I'm going to listen to every single offer. There was zero faithfulness going back to the Yankees.
He didn't sign with the Yankees. What kind of faithfulness
I know.
should you have? I believe Garrett Cole opted out of his contract.
He's not going anywhere.
He'll probably re-sign with them, but he did.
I think the Yankees have that. It's a player option, but the Yankees can actually add on a 5th year or something like that. So he's not going anywhere. He doesn't really have any control.
Good. Garrett Cole opted out of whatever option that he had. So I don't know what the Yankees are going to be able to do other than try to re-sign him. But when it comes to Juan Soto, like, this dude's going to get paid. Juan Soto's probably going to get with the exception of the Shohei deal, and maybe even rivaling that, Juan Soto is going to get like the biggest contract in MLB history, I think. I think we're talking about $500-600 million for Juan Soto.
For what, 11, 12 years?
Something like 10 years minimum, something like that, yeah.
without
It's
any
legitimately
deferred
what I
money?
think we're getting.
Because I think Shohei's is what, 700 million, but a lot of it is like deferred.
Yeah, he gets Shohei gets $2 million a year
Which is crazy because he signed a $700 million deal.
for 10 years. Shohei Ohtani is going to be getting paid $2 million a year for his play with the Dodgers. And then in the 10 years following that, when he's no longer playing, he's going to be getting $68 million every year from them.
He's Bobby Bonilla, man.
The Bobby Bonilla treatment.
Well, Bobby Bonilla was getting like $1.4 million. Okay.
True.
This is $68 million.
Yeah.
Is Bonilla still getting paid?
No, I think this year was his last year.
This last year? Okay.
Yeah. But that $2 million that Shohei's getting, I mean, that's enough for him to gamble per year. He can gamble that $2 million and, you know, make some money off of it.
He got endorsements and stuff like that too.
Sure, yeah.
If he didn't have any endorsements, man, $2 million ain't gonna get you very far in LA.
He's going to be perfectly fine. The Angels paid him a lot of money just to come over in the beginning to be part of their dog shit organization. So he's got plenty of money.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be perfectly fine. But let's get into this a little bit here. See, not all of these got starred, so I'm gonna actually have to pull up the StreamYards link because I know a couple certainly came in before some of these starred ones I see. But I'll start with these. Stephen De Leon for 5. Notre Dame rules all. # Bills Mafia. Shout out West Texas. 3 things that do not go together. But thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen De Leon. Broadsword for 5. My Texans O-line's atrocious. If they manage to win the wild card, they'll lose in the divisional round, just like every other time they make the playoffs. The Texans, I feel like I've been saying it all year.
You have been.
They're not playing very well, but they were continuing to win. And the last couple games, especially that Thursday nighter against the Jets, where Aaron Rodgers finally gets a victory, like they don't look good. I mean, CJ Stroud was like 11 for 30 or something.
Yeah, and you know, he got banged up in that game too, right?
He's been getting hit a lot. So he did. It looked like he was slow to get up, but I don't think he ever went out of the game. But he was definitely slow to get up at some points that I saw. Mick Walsh, don't be surprised if Jason Kelce ends up in court. You know what? I'm sure that someone's going to try to come after him for it. We're going to go over that. I'm tired of the Kelces in general. I'm tired of hearing about Travis Kelce. I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift. I'm tired of the whole Kelce brothers thing. But with all that being said, I have no problem with what Jason Kelce did yesterday. No fucking problem at all. There's a difference between trash talk when you're attending a game and when you're at a game and when you're participating and you got fans in the stands that paid to get in, you got players on the field, blah, blah, blah. And I'm all for a lot of trash talk between players and fans. When you're out in the real world and you're walking around and you're saying shit to somebody, you best be ready for whatever happens. And Travis Kelce or Jason Kelce was walking along and somebody decided to say something to him about his brother and about Taylor Swift. And Jason Kelce decided, you know what? You want to talk a lot? I'm going to show you. New video. Jason Kelce uses homophobic F slur 3 times after someone yells slur about Travis. Interestingly enough, a lot of the initial tweets about this had no actual details about the surrounding the encounter. But this is what we saw. We'll listen to this. I didn't know I was going to pull this up. Here we go.
I don't know about you, Ryan. It's not playing anything for me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why is it froze up on me? Hold on. The whole fucking TMZ site froze up. Fucking bullshit. Hold on. Give me a sec. This should be good now. Let's try it this way. All right. So you got Jason Kelce at the Penn State game, Penn State, Ohio State, and he's walking through and some Penn State players had this to say to him.
Kelce. Hey, Kelce. How does it feel your brother's a faggot? Kelce, can I get a fist bump? Kelce, can I get a fist bump?
So the guy yells, Jason Kelce, how do you feel that your brother's an F-slur for dating Taylor Swift? Jason Kelce kind of peeks around. The guy says something else. Jason Kelce just goes, grabs his phone, fucking slams it on the ground. But the encounter did not end there. Let's see if we can look at this. Now, you probably didn't hear that one too well, but this one you can hear pretty damn clear.
Yeah, give my phone, Kelce. Give my phone. Give me my phone. Give me my phone. You want to drive? Get the fuck out of here.
Now, what do you guys think about this altercation? Jason Kelce doing his thing. The other guy did shove him as well. Now, this is after Jason Kelce slammed his phone. I'm going to say this, as kind of tired as I am of hearing about Taylor Swift in the media, I have no problems with what Jason Kelce did here to a dude who came up and was shitting all over his brother. When you're in the real world like that, you shouldn't be surprised if a dude who fucking 6'2", 280, whatever Jason Kelce's walking around right now is, clearly some competitive juices in the body, you shouldn't be surprised if he fucking responds. I have no qualms whatsoever with what Jason Kelce did.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, this is the classic, you fuck around and you find out. This is the real world. This is the real world now, okay? They're not on the field. It's not like you're just a heckling fan in the stands where they can't do anything under the rules of the NFL. Like, you're out on the streets and you're calling a guy an F-slur. You're calling his brother an F-slur. You're getting all up in his face. You're recording him. Yeah, he's going to be visibly frustrated. And yeah, I mean, like... This shit fucking happens, man. Don't fuck around with the dude who is twice your fucking size, a former NFL player, like you said. He's got those competitive juices flowing through his fucking body, and like this is his family you're talking about. Okay, obviously Jason Kelce doesn't necessarily agree or care to hear what your opinions are of his brother and who he's dating. And if you're putting phones in his fucking face or even making contact with him, you better be ready for him to fucking respond.
Yeah, this is all about family, man. I'm pretty sure he loves his brother, man. And then when he could have probably said anything else about Travis Kelce, but when he actually said that was probably a bit too much, and he just snapped on him. And then they pushed him when he was on the ground. I'm surprised he really didn't punch him then.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing that a lot of you didn't see in the initial one is obviously like the phone's down there, whatever. He does shove Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like he's lucky that it was just getting called a slur back in his face rather than something else. Now, I have no doubt that this dude is going to try to be like, oh, he needs to pay me for my phone. And he probably should, right? Jason Kelce destroyed his fucking phone. That's not like, okay, he needs to make that right. But I have no problems with him going off the way he did. Mm-hmm. I think that if this guy had come up and called Jason that, he probably would have just kept walking. But sure, it's fucking family. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's your brother. And you're going to stand up and defend your brother.
His little brother.
Yeah,
his little brother. That's a good point.
Man, he should be lucky that wasn't Mike Tyson. Remember Mike Tyson started punching that guy on the plane?
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, I agree, John. If you had said something to somebody like Mike Tyson, you'd probably just find yourself knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, because that guy got fucked up by Mike Tyson on the plane.
But it is great. Listen, we can't say it on YouTube because it's YouTube, but I love seeing the word making a big comeback, all right? You gotta love seeing that.
Yeah.
That makes me happy inside a little bit. But Jason Kelce, we'll see what happens. I would imagine there's going to be some because he works for ESPN, right? I imagine there's going to be some sort of statement about it, and this guy's probably going to try to get him to pay for the phone or whatever else. But at the end of the day,
which he will, I think he'll pay for the phone, and he'll probably pay a little bit extra as he should. But I love seeing this, man. But I think it's funny that any chance that John gets to bring up Mike Tyson, he does. Even if Mike Tyson isn't related in the story at all, John's just got to bring up Mike Tyson.
Well, the point is, though, if that was actually like a Mike Tyson situation, he wouldn't have did that. Because Mike Tyson is borderline crazy. He ain't gonna play with you.
Probably not. But Jason Kelce smashing a dude's phone and throwing the slur back in his face several times. Got no issues with it. All right, let's catch up with some of these that we missed from earlier on. I saw Zenny Biscuit. These are the ones that I knew I missed from earlier. Keep an eye on the Baffert horses next year. Bob's coming back to the Derby with something to prove. Citizen Bull dominated the BC Juvenile. And then Zenny Biscuit for another 5. Got to give Lake Victoria a special shout out. She had a less than ideal run, but still ran off with the BC Juvenile Fillies Turf. For those of you that aren't aware, those are our horse racing updates. Our horse racing updates. Thank you very much, Zenny Biscuit. Over on the Rumble side, Jose Contreras for $1. These are last week's records. Ryan, 9-6. There was some crazy games last week. Like the fucking Ravens getting beat by Jameis Winston and the Browns, like that. I was not home to do Monday evening quarterback, or else we could have talked about a lot of those. So it seems like a lot of time has passed. But Ryan, 9-6. Beardo, 9-6.
There we go.
John, 0-0 because he wasn't here. So overall on the season, I'm 72-39. I'm putting up
good
like numbers effectively. John, 48-29. Beardo, look at this. 56-55. You're back on the winning side.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
This is week 1 that you've been under 500, I believe. So
we're back. We're back, baby.
We are finally back. John Getz for $1. Thank you, Browns and Eagles. And thanks to Russell Wilson for reminding me a Steelers quarterback can actually throw further than 10 yards downfield. By this week, so everyone get prepared to vote on Tuesday. Yeah.
Already done.
Mike Tomlin.
I already voted.
I also already voted. I think that Mike Tomlin feels pretty good about that choice to go with Russell Wilson, despite so many people in the media screaming against him. And why would you ever take Justin Fields out? You're seeing why. Mike Tomlin have a little fun on the sidelines, fucking around with Aaron Rodgers during that Jets game. Mike Tomlin's feeling good, feeling very good about that decision. John Getz for another $1. If that was an old Nokia folding phone, it'd be completely undamaged. The guy should get Kelce some Penn State Creamery Peachy Paterno ice cream as an apology, and Kelce should get him a phone. I saw this funny fucking sign. Joe at the Penn State game. I don't know if it was from this one or somebody was posting it from a different game, but it was just Joe Paterno. It was a meme. Senses legal issues, dies. And I just could not stop laughing at that. Old Penn State. Joe Paterno. Let's see. What else do we have over here on the YouTube side of things? Alex McCarthy for $5. My college team, Clemson, lost. Hopefully my NFL teams, Green Bay and Jacksonville, will win. Well, I'm sure we're going to get to those predictions in a little while here. We'll get to them, Alex. I don't know how great I feel about either of those teams today, though. I just don't know. Yankees get Trevor Bauer already. 199 praise Ara, says Cole Hauser.
That'd be interesting because Trevor Bauer and Garrett Cole absolutely fucking hate each other.
Yeah, they're never going to be on the same team. That's not going to work.
Yeah, if it's up to Garrett Cole, Trevor Bauer will never be a Yankee.
Alejandro for 199. Thoughts on Anthony Richardson getting benched? Yes, we did hear that.
Yep.
It's funny because each and every week that we come here, we basically have been saying very similar things about Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco, and the Colts quarterback situation. The Colts find themselves in a less than desirable position where this is not a team that's going to compete for a Super Bowl. It's just not. It's not built that way. However, Joe Flacco clearly and obviously gives them a better chance to win week in and week out. There's no questioning that when you look on the football field. And Anthony Richardson looks like dog shit the vast majority of the time, and he's never going to get any better unless you develop him. So the Colts are kind of at an impasse. You got a team that's not really going to do much, but you're going to have a better chance to win and maybe make the playoffs if you have Joe Flacco and maybe save a coach, a job or something like that. But overall, Anthony Richardson is still going to be considered the future of the franchise. So what do? The Colts made a decision earlier this week that with all these things being known, they're going with Joe Flacco. Anthony Richardson got benched this week, and that probably has a lot to do with his play and maybe a little bit to do with the fact that Anthony Richardson asked to come off the field because he was tired in a game last Sunday. I would be shocked if that didn't at least play a role in this decision, because it just doesn't seem like Anthony Richardson, like, it's one thing, okay, go down, like, pretend you're injured or something, if that's really the case, if you need a breather, if a quarterback needs a breather real quick. But at the very least, don't fucking lie about it. Lie about it to everybody. Lie about it in the media. Don't tell them, yeah, man, I'm just tired. I just need a break. What the fuck? You should be fighting for your goddamn job, and you're out there just openly saying that stuff. And I think there's a lot of people in the locker room that didn't like how that went, even if they like him as a dude. I don't think they like their quarterback going out there and openly admitting that stuff. Ultimately, I think the Colts are a better team this year with Joe Flacco, not a doubt in my mind. But you're really just kicking the can down a little bit by this benching of Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, it's the easy choice for the Colts to go with Joe Flacco. But now the question is, what do you do next year? Do you bring Flacco back? He might fucking retire. You never know. He's been almost retired like for the 40. Past 3 years. You aren't gonna fucking know. Like, there is no answer to the Anthony Richardson question right now, other than he's not that fucking good.
What do you think, John?
Yeah, I mean, eventually they're gonna have to, Flacco's not gonna be around forever. I mean, how old is he? I just said 40.
He's
right?
like 40. And yeah, like he's not your solution, no.
Yeah, I know everybody likes Flacco right now, but Flacco really ain't what he used to be, and he was never really a great quarterback. But you can actually win games with him. Anthony Richardson, he sucks. I mean, I know, Ryan, I know you always hard on him. Do you think it was a big mistake to even pick him?
I don't think I would have picked him there with the at least not if your plan is to start him, right?
Yeah.
If you happen to find yourself with a number, because he was picked number 3, was he number 3 overall?
He was top 5.
Top 5, somewhere around there. If you find yourself with that, and you happen to find yourself in a circumstance where you have a veteran quarterback who, say you're in the position kind of like the Falcons, right? Where the Falcons have Kirk Cousins, they kind of stumble into the pick of Michael Penix. They're like, hey, we can let this guy sit, we can let him develop, and he can learn from Joe Flacco for a couple years, whatever. That's okay. But Anthony Richardson is a project. Anyone who watched him play in college should have known that. And I think the decision to pick him with the intent of letting him start day one is an issue. And we still haven't seen a ton of him. We haven't seen a full season of Anthony Richardson. We've seen
he played
10 or 12 games.
He played like 3 or 4 games last year. Got injured very early this year, and he's just been struggling with injuries as well this year. Dude is a glass cannon. I keep saying it. Mm-hmm. He's tough. He's got a strong arm. Well, no, he's not tough. He's a big body. He's a big body. He's got a strong arm, but he goes down easy. And that's what it was like for him at Florida too. We only really had 1 year of him as a starting quarterback at Florida. And even, he played well that year, but he was still, suffering through injuries as well. We've never really seen Anthony Richardson play an entire full season other than his last year at Florida. Like that, and then to pick that kind of guy who played 11, 12 games, and that's kind of like what you have entirely seen from him. And then you're going to say, yeah, we're going to pick him top 5 and he's going to be our franchise quarterback. That is fucking wild.
And it's one thing to pick a dude who he's an athletic freak and you want him to use athleticism. But when he's as fragile as he is, what the fuck's the point?
Yep.
Like, remember 49ers and Trey Lance. Trey Lance didn't even play the year before he was drafted, and he sucks, man. He can't play.
Trey Lance, what a fucking bust he was.
What a bust.
God. All right, where are we? Psych Monger. Bobby B will get paid until 2035.
Really?
Nick Walsh, Bobby Bonilla still gets paid up until 2035.
Oh, shit. Holy shit. Damn.
Megan Banks, Spirian for 5 with a super sticker. Thank you, Spirian. Stephen De Leon for 5. Can you explain to me the Astros cheating thing? I don't watch or keep up with baseball.
I would love to, Stephen.
John, could you explain it?
That's a long topic, man. We don't even have time for it. It's old news anyway.
It's pretty quick.
John wants to get over it. Okay, I would love to explain it.
Go ahead.
So, for several years, mainly in 2017 was where they really started doing it, but it could have been as early as 2016, 2017, and they did it up until they got caught. Granted, a lot of teams caught on, like the Yankees and the Red Sox, they caught on and started doing the same thing that the Astros did. But the Astros invented this system where they would strategically place a camera crew up in center field, maybe like center right,
where
they can
camera
get
crew.
It was their camera crew. They had a guy up there operating it. They had a guy operating it. They had a camera up in the outfield where they can easily see the catcher giving signals, and they had an expert on a TV behind the dugout in the hallway on the computer with this algorithm where they can figure out what the signals are for the pitches. Dude would take a
it doesn't take like that long, right?
No,
they're literally just looking at the catcher's signs and what pitches come in there. Like, okay, this is fastball, this is curve, this is slide. Oh, basically fast speed or fastball and off speed was really what they were getting at.
Yeah. So it really, you can dissect it and figure it out in like 2 innings.
Yeah, and teams knew that, and they started changing up signs.
It wasn't right away though. It was not right away. And even if they started changing up signs, it's another inning and a half until they got the signs back down. So they had this dude in the hallway of the dugout with the computer, with the monitor, with a fucking drumstick and a trash can, and then was fucking beating on the trash can when it was off speed. And then if it was a fastball, probably no sound. Off speed, you heard the trash can banging. And then eventually the Astros, teams were catching on. So they started wearing Band-Aid-like buzzers underneath of their jersey.
Now he's getting into a bit of
that
a
is
conspiracy.
the thing that has never been.
That's conspiracy.
There's never any actual evidence.
It is not conspiracy.
A lot of speculation.
That's conspiracy.
No. You seen Reddick? Reddick was at bat, and his fucking Band-Aid fell off, and he picked it up off of the ground and put it in his back pocket. And then also Jose Altuve when he hit that walk-off home run against Aroldis Chapman in the ALCS, and he wouldn't take his shirt off. And he's like, "Oh, I don't want to take my shirt off. I have small nipples. I got a tattoo. My wife is gonna get mad at me.
My body, blah, blah,
yeah, no, fuck you. Okay, so the Astros were cheating. They were stealing signs for probably about 3 to 4 years time, and during that time, they won a World Series.
And the thing is, teams knew it, and it didn't say anything. And Mike Fiers, who's on the Astros, just came out and said it because he knew that everybody already knew about it. And maybe he didn't think it was actually going to blow up, but it did. That's what happened. And then Aaron Judge has been crying like a bitch for years, and he's still a bitch in the playoffs.
The worst thing to me is that the only person that got punished was the manager, who got fucking fired and exiled for a year. Well, now he's back with the Detroit Tigers, and they're the ones that fucking ended the Astros playoff run this year.
AJ
Hinch, yeah.
He wasn't the only
suspended. One. He got suspended, but it was Jim Crane that decided to fire him.
Yeah, he was the only one that got punished from that.
No, the GM too. GM got fired too.
And Alex Cora from the Red Sox, he got fired from the Red Sox for 1 year, and then they brought him back.
And then he came back, and then he was cheating with the Red Sox.
And then Carlos Beltran was on that Astros team, and it was apparently his idea to start doing that when he was playing with the Astros. Yeah. He then got hired as the Mets manager, and he didn't even see a season as the Mets manager. He got hired, and a few weeks later, all this stuff came out, and then the Mets fired him.
Yeah, but he didn't get punished by Major League Baseball. Not a single player got punished by Major League Baseball.
You want to know what's funny now? I was actually seeing a few days ago that Cody Bellinger probably going to sign with the Astros. That would be hilarious, considering what he's actually said about the Astros.
Who, Cody Bellinger?
Yeah.
Well, considering he opted into his Cubs contract, I doubt it.
Okay, man, I didn't know he opted in, but that came out like a week ago.
Yeah, I think it happened yesterday. Cody Bellinger officially opted in. Okay. Let me look, make sure I'm not spreading fake news. Bellinger decided to pick up his player option for 2025, returning to Cubs. So there you go. So you don't have to worry about it. Overall, I think a lot, obviously sign stealing has been a thing since the beginning of time. The way the Astros used the camera and the relay system and then the trash cans and the allegations of the buzzers, that is a little bit above and beyond.
But newsflash, every team cheats. that's still doing it right now.
Eat shit, Beardo. From
Yankees
Joe
and
Bob
Red
Purdue.
Sox were cheating in 2017. They got busted. Nobody talks about them. Why? Because they didn't win.
Well, Joe Bob Purdue, it looks like you're stuffing your face for the both of us. So I think I'm good. Thanks, Joe Bob.
Gung Ho Mac, the Jags field ended my Gators season. Bro, so I did put, we do need to talk about college football a little bit because I did put Carson Beck in the thumbnail. Well, Carson Beck, you've been bashing him all season, Beardo. He looked like absolute shit yesterday. Threw like 2 or 3 picks in the first half, like to nobody. Like, I don't know what he was doing or why he was throwing these. The Georgia Bulldogs are such a more talented team than the Gators. They were eventually able to kind of pull away in the second half, but holy fuck, they did not look good, especially in the first half of that game against Florida. It looked abysmal. We had some other big games in college football yesterday. Oregon, number 1, Oregon takes care of business at Michigan at the Big House. Really was not even close. Michigan now 5-4 this season, the year after winning the national championship. I think a lot of people expected a decent drop-off, what with a lot of the players who left, and of course Harbaugh leaving, but 4 losses for this Michigan team, probably a little worse than they expected. Ohio State goes to Penn State, number 3 and number 4 in the country. Ohio State holds on against Penn State. Maybe some controversial calls and also a goal line stand in the final, I would say 4 minutes or so from Ohio State. Some really stupid, retarded play calls, I thought, down on the goal line for Penn State personally. But Ohio State survives on the road against Penn State, and that is a big one for them, a very, very big win. Some other results from the top 25. Miami destroys Duke. Miami's undefeated, but I really don't think Miami's any good. I'm just being real. Like the way they've struggled against some of these teams, they are undefeated, however, in the ACC. The same ACC that Florida State was undefeated in last year, and now they've won, 1 game this season?
They're kind of like the Chiefs. They're undefeated, but they have no business being undefeated.
They would be like the Chiefs if Miami had won national championships 3 out of the last 5 years.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Kentucky loses to Tennessee at Tennessee. Then we did have a couple big upsets. Texas A&M gets upset at South Carolina. And of course, they fucking storm the field. Of course you do. Beating the number 10 ranked team in the country, South Carolina. The fans storm the field because you're a bunch of fucking retards.
I hate that shit.
I despise it. I want to prevent these people from having fun at all costs because it just looks gay as fuck. What else? Texas Tech, Iowa State. Texas Tech takes down Iowa State at Iowa State. And then Clemson, like Alex McCarthy brought up, they did lose to Louisville. So that's a rough loss for Clemson. Dabo catching some heat. Catch some big-time heat for that one. But Indiana somehow still undefeated. IU has been dog shit at football since I was born, and apparently probably since my dad was born, right? They've just been dog shit. I think the Indiana Hoosiers have one or two Big Ten football championships across their entire history. They just suck at football. This year, they're fucking undefeated. Game day was there last week. They beat Michigan State 47-10, and we're going to see what happens here for IU. The schedule they got still down the stretch. They've got to play Michigan. I think it's at Indiana, though. They go to Ohio State. That's going to be the big one right there. That's going to be the massive one there for them. And then, of course, if they haven't lost, they will lose in the final game because they're playing my Purdue Boilermakers. So Purdue will take them down. No problem. But yeah, that's the little bit that we got for college football. Bearded, you didn't watch any college football. You said, fuck this. USC sucks. I quit college football.
USC does suck. But no, I was out yesterday hanging out with Jay, so I did not get to watch any college football. I caught some highlights, but unfortunately wasn't able to watch some college football yesterday. So it is what it is.
Nandy O for 5. By the way, Kelce and Embiid did nothing wrong. As much as Embiid acts like he's the savior, Hayes was out of line and needs to be fired. So when it comes to that, this entire thing, Joel Embiid shoved a reporter. All right. Joel Embiid shoved a reporter in an altercation in a locker room. Didn't take his phone and throw it down. He shoved him. And The reason Joel Embiid is upset is because this is a reporter who's been calling Joel Embiid out for being kind of a loser in terms of he doesn't try hard enough. He's never available. He decided it was a priority. Like he wanted to really play for his country in the in the Olympics, and he had 2 months to get healthy and still isn't healthy. He's not really injured. He's just kind of sore and tired and beat up and banged up. So this Philadelphia Inquirer reporter basically called him out. Now, I have not seen, apparently Joel Embiid was upset that he mentioned his family in the article.
His dead brother.
Yes, his dead brother and his son. I don't know in what capacity that was being referenced, though. I haven't seen that original thing. Now, if he said, this guy's a bum just like his dead brother, certainly Joel Embiid has a right to be upset about that. But I haven't seen, like, I've looked a couple places, and it just says he was upset that his brother and his son got mentioned in an article about Joel Embiid. So I really need to see what that article looks like before I can be like, yeah, that was out of line or not. That's what I personally think. Not a banned account just for Peanut. Remember Fred, hashtag justice for Peanut. Yeah, I guess the fucking squirrel and the raccoon or whatever that's been going around. The people that own them use those animals to promote their OnlyFans. I don't know if people are aware of that or not. Probably why that guy deleted his initial account. But I do feel bad for the animals.
Mm-hmm.
John Falsetta for 2. The Astros cheat like Democrats. Stop defending it.
They did.
Connor Akers for 3. Who would win in a Mayweather versus Tyson fight?
Oh, jeez.
Tyson.
Like, what do we mean, though?
I mean, like, it's not even really fair because
they're completely
Tyson's
different weight classes.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
Mike Tyson's probably an entire foot taller than Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. But Mayweather's style. I mean, if they were both heavyweights, Tyson would win, man, because Mayweather's style of being defensive is not going to work against Tyson.
What if they fought right now? Floyd Mayweather at 50 years old and Mike Tyson
easy.
60 years old.
That's easy. It's easy. Mike's not. John's not going to like it. Right now,
Floyd will just kind of run all around, tire him out.
But Floyd has been fighting more, though.
If they fight right now, Floyd Mayweather wins, and it's not going to be a knockout. It'll just go to the scorecard. It'll be on points. That's all.
It'll be really boring.
I can agree with that, man, because Mayweather is 40. How old is Mayweather? 47 or something like that.
He's 47 years old,
and he's actually been fighting, kind of. So
they're the same height.
The size difference is a big deal, though.
Yeah, the weight difference is like
the weight difference, right?
Yeah, weight difference. Yeah, but Tyson ain't that tall.
Ride Santa Cruz gifts 5 Sports Wars memberships. Thank you, Ride Santa Cruz. Joe Bob Purdue for 2. Go Lions. Beat the Packers. Fuck Kelce. We're going to talk about those games towards the end of the stream. Taker for 5. Hawks had the 5th pick in 2023, and I wanted to take A. Rich, but I knew he'd be sitting behind Geno for 2 years. Instead, we took Devon Witherspoon at 5. I wouldn't want Anthony Richardson on my team.
No.
Mick Walsh for 2. Beardo has Astros derangement syndrome.
He does.
I'm just being honest.
Jonathan Bordeaux, need to come on the show and talk about my Yankees. Well, there's always next year, Jonathan. RIP to the Yankees World Series hopes. UConn bowl eligible. Only a few years removed from literally being the worst team in the nation. Hopefully turn around and can continue and the football team see some success like basketball. Cheers. What even what conference is UConn football competing in right now? Are they in the ACC right now?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh no, they're fucking independent.
Oh, well, there you go.
They're independent.
They're still independent? Because they used to play 1AA. And
well, remember,
like
UConn basketball, Big East basketball.
Yeah, Big East, yeah.
But their football stuff was a little different because a lot of these teams, not necessarily. So you had Syracuse in the ACC, shit like this. Obviously, wait, was Syracuse Big East or always ACC? Syracuse was Big East basketball for a long time, right?
Well, it depends. Like between football,
look at Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame basketball, they were ACC.
Correct.
football was the only thing they stayed independent.
Correct. Yeah. So between football, like certain universities, between football and basketball, you can they're not always in the same conference.
Typically, but there's a couple standouts. So.
Right.
UConn used to play in the Big East from 2004 to 12. Then they went to the American 2013 to 2019. I guess they've been independent since then.
Yeah, I don't consider like, I don't know. You're never going to have, unless you're Notre Dame, it's going to be really tough for UConn to have any long-term success unless you're in a major conference. That's just the reality. Because you're not going to get ranked if you don't play anybody. Or unless you're Notre Dame and they just get ranked because. So that's the only thing. Python Bacon, best 48 months of my life. LeBron is so gay. Speaking of LeBron got a little bit of backlash over the weekend. Yep. See if I can pull up this post. Bro, I know you guys have been talking about it on Black and White Sports, John, but holy fuck. When I was joking about Bronny James being a Make-A-Wish kid, that's literally what they're doing with him. Like, it felt what they did with Bronny James in Cleveland, no shit, felt like when you have a Down syndrome kid who's like the fucking manager or something, and you bring him out there to like take a shot in a game, and everybody fucking cheers and applauds and plays along. That's how it felt. I'm not even like being really hyperbolic. That's how it felt with bringing Bronny James in when the game was already out of hand and him hitting a shot in Cleveland. And then just the other night, I think they brought him in for the last 8 seconds of the Houston game.
On defense.
Yes.
When the game was over.
Yeah, it's fucking pathetic. But old LeBron James, we know LeBron had to speak out. It's election season. It's LeBron James. What are we even talking about here? When I think about my kids and my family and how they will grow up, the choice is clear to me. Vote Kamala Harris.
My question is, why did he wait so late?
I don't know. But then he shares this like completely hacked up, essentially just video trying to paint Donald Trump as a racist piece of shit, right?
Of course.
Like, here's a little bit of it.
All right. Heck yeah. It's cool. Black guy. That's one of my buddies. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
No, I'm not a racist.
We love Hitler. We love Trump.
They're taking black.
Look at what they're playing over this stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're playing a couple people, and I think those are the guys that got completely like they tried to go to that MAGA boat rally and they got swamped. Like people wrecked their boat because they said that and all this shit. David Duke. It's weird you didn't do this when David Duke endorsed Joe Biden. That's
Joe Biden. I was about to say that he did endorse Biden.
He did endorse Biden in 2020. It's weird how that works.
They're taking black jobs now. The whole country is going to be like, it'll be like Detroit. A lot of it's about the genes, isn't it? Don't you believe? They're poisoning the blood of our country.
Look, these are just like a couple word snippets that are like stitched together. And this is put out there by LeBron James to pretend like this is about fucking the civil rights movement in the civil rights era. And LeBron James, should we remind you, LeBron James is the same bitch ass piece of shit who made up a fake hate crime at his own house in LA. This is the same person who will put up every single piece of shit criminal that gets killed by the cops, regardless of whatever they did, and make it seem like they're some sort of hero and should be recognized, should be praised. LeBron James is one of the biggest pieces of shit in sports when it comes to his politics. He just is. The same dude who says we have to stand up against hate anytime and every time we can, yet you go over to China and you shut up and dribble. It's weird how that works, isn't it, LeBron? So I guess not a surprise that he would eventually, come out and full-throated support for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's not telling you why to vote for Kamala Harris.
No,
because if it came down to policy,
Trump. Yeah.
I mean, Trump derangement, man. I don't believe that's going to work.
And they seem to forget we already had Trump as president.
None
of this shit happened.
Good point.
None of this shit happened. Not even close. In fact, they were the ones that made it worse. The left and the Democrats, they made it worse. They were the one tearing down statues. They were the one tearing down historical statues of iconic American heroes. And they're just tearing down statues. None of this happened. We've already had Trump as president, and we were better off for it.
Yep.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party, LeBron James. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. What a fucking bitch.
What an idiot.
Speaking of people who aren't bitches, WG in the chat with $50 says
50.
Eat 50, Beardo.
Okay.
Which
Thanks,
would you take,
WG.
shit or that?
I don't know. But thank you for the 50, WG.
I'd rather eat the 50. Maybe it means eat 50 pieces of shit.
I don't know. Maybe 50 burgers. Let's pretend it's burgers.
Yeah. Hot dogs, maybe. B Chain for 5. UConn's been trying to get the Big 12 for a while. Hard to do when you're God offer for 10 years. LMAO. It's so weird. Conference realignment has been so strange, obviously, with so many different teams, whether it's a Big 12, where it's Pac-12, whether it's Big 10, whether it's SEC, teams that are coming and going. It's been kind of crazy, and it's tough to keep track of lately. That's why I had to ask. Like, I didn't know if UConn joined up one of these, but no, they're still independent. So, still independent. See if I can find over on the Rumble side here. Let's make sure we're caught up there. John Getz, Penn State way too conservative the whole game, especially when on the goal line with 3 straight runs up the middle. There's a BS call where a fumble was reversed and incomplete pass, though. I did see that one, and that's the little bit of controversy I talked about from the call standpoint. It could be worse, John Getz. You could have, at the 1 yard line, decided to hand it off to your backup center. You could do that. That's always an option. It's not like you have a player on the team who specializes as a running back in short yardage situations, and every handoff they've taken inside the 5 has resulted in a touchdown this season in Roschon Johnson. It's not like you got a guy in DeAndre Swift who you literally just paid a bunch of money to come to the team to run the football for you. It's not like you have some talented weapons that maybe you could consider throwing the ball. No, you need to hand off the ball to your backup center. And even with that being said, the Bears still got the ball back, marched down the field, scored, in position to win the game. And then literally an act of God. God did not want the Chicago Bears to win, apparently, with the Hail Mary. God, that was like the most, I wanted to fucking die for about 48 hours after that. One of the most disgusting things I've seen in my life. The Chicago Bears did not deserve to win the game. They did not play so well that it's like they deserve to win this game. The Redskins didn't play well either. But ultimately, the Bears should have won the game. They were in the lead with 20 seconds to go, and a Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels, some incredibly poor coaching decisions, and a lucky bounce completely changes the entire narrative of the season, with the Commanders and Jaden Daniels now being 6-2 and the Bears being 4-3. And obviously, since I listen to a lot of Chicago sports talk radio, even during the week and stuff, it has been chaos this week. Primarily surrounding Matt Eberflus and Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator for Chicago Bears, because they've taken no accountability for any of their actions. While they're asking Tyreek Stevenson to take accountability, and that was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, not looking at the line of scrimmage, not paying attention in the final play, and instead talking to the crowd, regardless of whether it was taunting Redskins or Commanders fans or whether it was trying to hype up Bears fans, not paying attention to the ball being snapped for over 4 seconds when you're the guy who is supposed to be covering the dude who catches the tip. Unforgivable. But he certainly took accountability for how stupid he was, but the coaches have yet to do so. The coaches have put everything on the players' execution and not on Matt Eberflus. I don't know, not taking a timeout. I don't know, not pressing up on that second to last play. I don't know, handing off to the offensive fucking lineman at the 1 yard line. No accountability from the coaches, only from the players. And I don't know how long that can be sustained. Quite frankly, I feel like I've been saying it all year that the Chicago Bears offense is better when they're not calling plays. Literally, when it's just the hurry up off the end of halves or the end of the game, they look like a functional offense. They look solid. But this is the reason why they've only scored like 1 first quarter touchdown all season, because the play calling's abysmal. It's fucking awful. It's trash. It just has been. And you're doing shit like that. This is now. If the Bears don't decide to call an option, a fucking option on the goal line on 4th down, and then hand the ball off to the center, the Bears probably have 2 extra wins on the year. But yeah, that's about my rant on the fucking Bears this week. It's fucking disappointing, bro. Disappointing.
Well,
go ahead.
At least you, I don't know, maybe the Bears did because I didn't watch the entire game. But I figure the Bears didn't run a 2-point play with only 3 down linemen in front of the quarterback, where the other side, on the other side of the field, nobody decided to block for Malik Neighbors, and just maybe one of the worst 2-point conversions that I have ever fucking seen in my entire life.
It was pretty bad.
Whoever drew up that play should be fucking fired. And I'm sure it was probably Dable.
It wasn't that they didn't decide to block. The snap timing was off.
It was too quick.
Yeah, like the ball got snapped too quick, I believe, and maybe they got it, said it would have worked. But well, yeah, it was a very dumb call. It was a very stupid call.
Yeah.
But at least that's on a 2-point conversion where it's like, hey, let's see. But yeah, that was rough, especially because up until the last drive where they gave up the free easy yardage and then obviously a Hail Mary. Oh, the Bears defense was handling the Redskins. It scored 12 points, held them to 4 field goals. Jaden Daniels had around like 220 yards, fairly inefficient yardage at that. He was something like, probably up until that point, he was probably something like, I don't know, 20 for 38, somewhere around there. They contained him. They contained the great Jaden Daniels. And then the last 20 seconds happens. And the stat line looks different. The entire narrative about the season looks different because of literally a fucking lucky play where a Bears player isn't paying attention. The ball gets tipped by him to the guy he's supposed to cover. It's just fucking heartbreaking. God, it sucks. But with that being said, $100 super chat from WG. He didn't want me and John to feel left out. Here's $100 for Ryan and John to eat so they don't feel left out. Thank you, WG. Appreciate it, buddy. And then he follows
10.
it up with 10 gifted memberships.
Nice.
Shout out WG.
WG.
Thank
Legend.
you. Thank you. $100 fucking dollars. Making it rain over here on
Yes,
Sports
sir.
Wars in the morning. But as we always do on Sports Wars on Sundays, we got to make our picks for the games because we're keeping track of all of those. Thanks to Jose Contreras over on Rumble. But now we got some picks, and we might as well start with John's Cowboys.
Falcons.
With John's Cowboys.
I ain't going to waste my time with the Cowboys. Falcons.
Wow. Listen, I'm picking the Falcons too, but you're not even going to give us some
man.
excuse as to why the Cowboys are going to do it?
What's that?
You're not going to give us some kind of excuse? Cowboys ready to turn around? Nothing like that?
No,
You're out?
they're not. I mean, they're checked out, man. The way they play, I don't care what that final score was against the 49ers. The Cowboys fucking suck. They're checked out, man.
Yes, they do. Ryan, are we still doing prize picks?
You can talk about it for sure. Go ahead.
What's the code again?
Dak interception.
What's the code?
GG. Code GG.
Use code GG. You play $5. You get $50 for free when you use code GG. Here's some picks for prize picks today. Dak Prescott, anytime interception. Dak Prescott less on his passing yards today for this game. Give me the Falcons. I'm hammering the Falcons. And let's see. Yeah, the Falcons outright. And also a 51.5 point total. Take the under on this game.
And the Cowboys schedule, like the next 4 games, they may not even win. It's brutal.
Yeah, the Cowboys are absolute trash right now. Speaking of a team that's been absolute trash, they thought they'd turn around when they got Tua back. That didn't work out as well as they thought. Dolphins are heading up to the Bills. And listen, this is a Dolphins team that does not beat teams that are over 500.
Yep.
They just don't. Over the past couple of years, Bills obviously a solid team. They're 6-2. Josh Allen playing very well, taking care of the ball for the most part.
One interception, that's it.
I only one pick for Josh Allen, which is pretty crazy.
Mhm.
Amari Cooper will not be playing in this game. He's got a wrist that's bugging him, so maybe that does close to make it a little bit tougher for Josh Allen to throw the ball to these receivers. But overall, I'm taking the Bills. I don't think that the Miami Dolphins will be able to stop the running attack of the Bills, and I think the Bills take it easy.
I agree, Bills.
Yeah, give me the Bills. Give me the Bills outright. Money line too. I think they cover that 6.5 as well.
I do too.
Prize picks. Keon Coleman, anytime touchdown. He's getting in the end zone today. Give me the Bills.
Raiders and the Bengals, the 3-5 Bengals, who desperately need to turn this thing on. We've said that for the past couple of weeks now. But I mean, the Raiders, they trot Desmond Ridder out there.
For like a play.
Minshew.
For like a single play.
Yeah. I'm going Bengals at home. I think the Raiders trash. I think Antonio Pierce is almost done with this team.
I like the Bengals too, but I still like the Raiders to cover that 7.5. But give me the Bengals to win. Raiders cover. I don't have any prize picks for this game.
How many times have you picked the Raiders this year, Beardo?
Pick the Raiders like to win?
Yeah, to win games.
Maybe like 4 times.
All right.
Maybe 4 times.
I saw green-haired anti-liberal, I think, in the chat earlier. She's a Raiders fan. She says that you curse her team when you pick them.
No, that's not me. That's just the Raiders are just shit. And I just happen to think that the Raiders sometimes have a little stroke of magic because of Gardner Minshew. But I do think that they'll cover that 7.5 points. But give me the Bengals to win. Let's say Joe Burrow more on his passing yards today on prize picks.
Who you got, John?
I already picked the
Bengals. Chargers Browns. Interesting game.
Very
especially
interesting game.
Yes, new QB and Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston, we've been saying it all year. And I remember there was some Browns fan who was trying to argue with me when I talked about how the reason they made Jameis Winston the emergency quarterback a few weeks ago is because they didn't want fans asking for Jameis instead of Deshaun Watson, all this stuff. That was obviously all true. And that Browns fan was retarded. I mean, being a Browns fan in general, it's going to be tough for you not to be retarded. I get it. But yes, Jameis Winston has been the better option for them to start for a while. I certainly don't think Jameis Winston is going to lead this team to the next level or anything like that. But I think any quarterback in the league virtually was a better option than Deshaun Watson at the time.
Yep.
And since Deshaun Watson signed that contract in Cleveland, I think Cleveland's had like 5 games and maybe 5 different players that have gone over 300 yards for them passing. None of them's been Deshaun Watson. Jameis Winston, him and the Browns beat the Ravens last week.
Yes.
I think a lot of that could be hype and energy and wanting to show you still got what it takes and stuff like that after a big kind of season-ending injury. I am tentatively taking the Chargers against the Browns. The Browns defense plays really well, especially plays really well at home. I don't think this is going to be an easy game, and I'm a little surprised they're favored by a field goal, but I'm taking the Chargers.
Give me the Browns. I think it's going to be a close game, but I believe it'll be like a field goal game. So like the Browns by 3.
I like the Browns too. I wouldn't touch the total in this game. It's set a little low, but I don't see this necessarily being a high-scoring game, but it could turn out to be that way. Both teams score over 20 points. I'd stay away from the total, though. This is just a weird game, but give me the Browns.
I think that we are going to see Jameis Winston be exactly who he's been his entire career, which is one game you're going to get 300 yards and a couple touchdowns, and the next game you're going to get 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
That's what I'm betting on in this game.
Yeah.
Patriots Titans. What a disgusting game.
Gross.
Now I believe Drake May still injured,
still out with a concussion.
So it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. So this is like resetting us to Patriots of a couple weeks ago against a Titans team at home. And I think they're starting Mason Rudolph's still playing for them, right?
I have no clue if it's still Mason Rudolph or
it's Mason Rudolph.
Hey, he's been playing better. He's been doing better than what's his face?
Will Levis.
Will Levis.
Yes. Yeah. I am going to go with the Titans because they're at home And I think that defense is, especially that defensive front is solid. I think Jacoby Brissett's going to get sacked like 1,000,000 times today.
Titans, just because they're home. Man, this game stinks.
Did the Patriots not
May starting? Is Drake May starting?
Really? May is starting? Oh, then give me the Patriots. Regardless if Drake May or Jacoby Brissett were starting, give me the Patriots. The Titans, I don't know though, man, because the Titans, fuck, son of a bitch, I don't fucking know. Because last week the Titans got blown out by the Lions, and there was a few drives there where Mason Rudolph, he put something together, but the Lions are the best team in the league right now. So,
So this morning, Patriots quarterback Drake May clears concussion protocol, removed from injury report ahead of Sunday's game versus Titans.
That still doesn't mean he's starting.
9 a.m. in the morning on a Patriots site. So yes,
that doesn't.
Drake May. If Drake May's not on the injury report and cleared concussion protocol, I'm taking the Patriots. I'm switching my pick. I'm going Pats. Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going Patriots too.
You sticking with Titans, John?
Yeah, I already said Titans. Yep, sticking with them.
All right. So, Commanders and Giants. Beardo, want to set this game up for us?
The last time we played earlier this year, the Redskins kicked 5 field goals. The Giants scored 2 touchdowns. We weren't able to kick any field goals because our idiot kicker, Graham Gano, pulled his hamstring on the very first play of the fucking game, and we lost that game by just a few points, either by a field goal, 2 points. We would have won this game if our kicker did not pull his hamstring. Malik Neighbors is back, second week back from a concussion. I don't have any fucking faith in the Giants. It's at home. I don't think Daniel Jones has thrown a passing touchdown at home this entire fucking year.
Really?
To a Giants player. Correct.
To a Giants player. Yeah, okay. You had to rub that one in. To a Giants player. He hasn't thrown an offensive touchdown at home this entire year. But this is NFC East football, man. The Giants tend to play, well, except for a few weeks ago when we played the Eagles. They absolutely fucking killed us. I don't know, man. I don't know. For the sake of my record, I'm going to say the Redskins, but I dearly want the fucking Giants to win. But for my reputation here and for my record, I'm going to pick the Redskins, but I do want the Giants to win.
Give me the G-Man. First of all, my Cowboys need the Redskins to lose, even though we fucking suck.
But
we need some help. We need some help right now. I really don't believe in the Giants. They stink. Redskins way better than what I thought they would be.
Are you picking the Giants?
I'm picking the G-Man.
All right, I'm changing my pick.
Oh, you doing it?
John
Okay.
talked me into it. I'm picking the New York Football Giants. Let's go. Prize pick Malik Neighbors, anytime touchdown. He's getting in the end zone today. Take Tyrone Tracy, more on his rushing yards today. Let's fucking go. That's a lock.
Oh, I'm taking the Redskins. I'm taking the Commanders, but I'm going to be desperately rooting for your Giants to win. Because I now have a vendetta against the Commanders after this Hail Mary bullshit. So fuck them. I hope their fucking plane blows up wherever they're going next. But
Holy fuck.
Saints, Panthers. What a disgusting game.
Saints. They're bad, but the Panthers are way worse.
But is it still Spencer Rattler? Let's see. Injury report for the Saints. Spencer Rattler inactive, so no. It does look like Derek Carr's returning. I'll take the Saints as well in this game against the Carolina Panthers. But what a dog shit game.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going Saints.
All right. Where the fuck are we? We're only here. God, we're not even through the 1 o'clock games yet. Holy shit. Broncos, Ravens. The Broncos, the 5-3 Broncos against the Ravens, who just lost to the fucking Browns. The Ravens, I feel like the Ravens are the best team in football this year, but they continue to play down to their competition and continue to let teams back in games in almost every fucking game. But I'm taking the Ravens in this game over Bo Nix and the Broncos.
The Broncos have been playing good football, man.
They have. I'm rolling with the Ravens in this one. They're gonna get back on track this week.
Yeah, this could be a bounce back game. This could be a big bounce back game for the Ravens. Give me the Ravens, but I don't like where the line is set at. I like the Broncos to cover that 9.5 points. Yeah, I like the Broncos to cover.
Well,
but give me the Ravens outright.
Baltimore at some point in this game will be up by 10 points. But
Sure.
they'll probably give it up at the end, and it'll be a close game at the end of the game. That's what I think. But so everyone's Ravens clean sweep.
Yep.
Ravens.
Yep.
Jags and the Eagles. You got the Cats versus the Birds. I'm taking Eagles as long as they understand that the only thing they should ever do is just hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley. The Eagles will continue to play well. When they don't do that and actually let their $55 million a year quarterback try to make plays, it doesn't go well for them. So just let Saquon run the ball. And I'd take the Eagles at home.
I'm taking the Eagles too, man. Highly disappointed with the Jaguars, man.
Mm-hmm.
Peterson may get fired, man. After this, it's bad. They're awful. I'll pick the Eagles in this game, even though we need them to lose too. But I'll roll with the Eagles.
Yeah, the Jaguars. They Doug Peterson's on the hot seat, and unfortunately, because I think that he's a really good coach.
Yeah, he is.
Just hasn't. The Jaguars as a whole team, there's a lot of disarray in the locker room. They just aren't on the same page with a lot of their players on offense. Give me the Eagles.
Bears and Cardinals. The Bears, who have not won an away game yet, because the one in fucking London doesn't count, because I think they were technically the home team in that one. Going to the Cardinals. The Cardinals, the winner of 2 in a row. They look like they're playing a little bit better, but Call of Duty is out now. So you mentioned that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is out.
John, is that your dog?
A tough game.
Yeah. Food just got delivered.
John, your fucking dog.
I know.
Your dog.
I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I got to go open door.
Okay, that's fine. John's picking the Cardinals. Go fuck yourself, John, for picking the Cardinals. This is a must-win game for the Chicago Bears. But the Cardinals are still in contention for their division as well. So it's like the Cardinals are 500 and they can still easily make a play in their division based on the way things have been going. I think the Bears players are going to make a statement this game, come together, fuck the coaching staff. I think that it's not a good thing, but I do think that this player base, that the players and the coaching staffs are on completely different pages. And I think that the players are going to rally around each other and say, fuck the coaches. And I think the Bears are going to come out and play well. And we're going to have a repeat of we are who they thought they were at Arizona.
Yeah, give me the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Tough game. Arizona's favored in the game. So
yeah.
Lions and the Packers, a big NFC North matchup.
Yeah.
I did see, at least as of 30 minutes ago, I do think Jordan Love and Jacobs are both supposed to play. Jordan Love, there was a question whether he would go. A lot of people didn't think he was going to go based on the way he practiced this week, but Jordan Love is going to be there. With all that being said, even with Jordan Love in the game, I'm taking the Detroit Lions at Lambeau.
Yep.
Which I don't feel great about that pick. I don't feel super comfortable about it, but how that they've just been so on the same page, and obviously playing Lambeau a little bit different than a game that would be at Ford Field or something like that, but I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah. Give me the Lions. Total set at 47.5. Take the over on that total. Even if this line was set at -6 for Detroit, I think they still cover that 6 points. The Lions, to me, they're the best team in the entire NFL. Give me the Lions all day.
Yeah, we'll figure out what John says when he comes back. Rams, Seahawks. Like I said, that old NFC West, a lot of middling teams. And then you got San Francisco, who's obviously had their own set of struggles this year with all the injuries. Rams and Seahawks. This is a tough game, dude.
Yeah.
This is a fucking tough game.
I missed Packers and Lions.
Yeah, Packers and Lions. Who you got?
Lions. That's my team.
There you go. All of us on the Lions. Rams and Seahawks. At home. I think Puka Nacua is injured. Am I right in that? Again? Where's he going to play? Let's see. Puka Nacua, questionable.
Questionable.
I still don't have an official status. It's a late game. So, you know what? I'm taking the fucking Rams. I'm taking the fucking Rams at Seattle.
I'm taking the Rams too. I believe DK Metcalf is he's ruled out today. So I'm taking the Rams.
Rams.
All three on the Rams is the road team. I thought it would just be, I knew Beardo wouldn't pick them because they've got Geno Smith. But
yeah, that bum ass. Take the under on the total. 48.5. Give me the under.
Now Colts and Vikings. Now, if this was Anthony Richardson led Colts, I'd say Vikings by 100. But since it's Joe Flacco, the most clutch player of our time, Joe Flacco, taking the reins once again as he deserved to on this Colts team, I'm still going to pick the Vikings. But I think that the Colts obviously make it a better game.
Yeah, give me the Vikings as well. I like the Vikings, but I like the Colts to cover that 5.5. I could see this being a close field goal game. Like Vikings win by 3 or 4. I like the Colts to cover, but give me the Vikings.
I'm going to take the Vikings too, but I believe it's going to be a touchdown game. So I think they're going to.
So you like Minnesota money line?
Over. Yeah.
There you go. And we might as well pick this Monday night game. Buccaneers, an injured Buccaneers team. Baker Mayfield, 21 touchdowns on the season. My God.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. Against the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, who I think has 8 passing touchdowns or something this year.
He has not been good with the passing ball that much.
But I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs. Pretty big spread. Obviously, a Buccaneers team that is banged up, but pretty big spread right there for Kansas City, but I'm taking them to win the game.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs. That line, that's high. That's high right there. 9 points.
The Chiefs historically over the last 2 years have not done super well against the spread, especially at home and stuff like this. Not that they've been losing games, but they've been losing against the spread because they always get overfavored and overbet on. So
yeah.
But we'll see. That's a tough game, though.
So you might want to take the Bucks to cover, but I'm going to take the Chiefs outright.
I almost want to pick the Bucks for the upset, but I understand why I really, really shouldn't. I mean, they're starting to have talk about the Chiefs going undefeated. I don't think their offense is definitely not good enough for them to go undefeated.
Yeah, I mean they got Hopkins now. That obviously is going to open some things up for them. Maybe Travis Kelce goes out there and plays well because he wants to, be like, hey, my brother got in trouble for me. I'm going to go out and play a good one. I don't fucking know, but I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'll pick the Chiefs, but I believe Mahomes will throw another interception. He's been throwing interceptions like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mo Siziak for 10. Beardo, who scores a touchdown for the Chargers? J.K. Dobbins or McConkey? Also, which do you find sexier?
What the fuck? Anytime touchdown, probably, J.K. Dobbins. That's your easy bet. Anytime touchdown.
Rob Cortez, not really sweating if we lose today. We'll just get them in Detroit. Go Pack, go. That's exactly the kind of attitude I expect from a Packers fan. I don't really care if we lose today. Fuck the Packers. And fuck you, Rob, for being a Packers fan. Let's see how it goes. Thank you for the super chat, though. Mazdar for $2 over on Rumble. Strong with the anger is. Let go of your hate, Skins Nation. Bro, your team isn't even called the Redskins anymore. Your team is full of such fucking pussies and pansies and bitches that they changed the fucking name to not be offensive. All right? You're not even allowed to say Skins Nation. That's not your fucking team. Commie Nation. That's your fucking team. Fuck them. But I think we're all caught up on super chats and on Rumble rants. Oh, here you go. Don't blame me this week for taking rants. McVay had our number and recently read Hawks are only 500 at home since 2019. Yeesh. Yeah, I mean, that 12th man turns out, was really helpful when you had a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great defense anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
But thank you, Taker. All right. That's it. I think we're all caught up and we're about 5 minutes away from these games starting.
Let's go.
John, what do you got going on this week?
Oh, not much, man. About to watch these Cowboys lose to the Falcons. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time, but still, I'm a fan. I just don't believe in him.
Dalton Fury can't even spell because he's so fucking upset. The owner changer, you fuckhead. I don't know what that means. The owner changed it. The owner changed. I'm not sure. Do it again. Retry. The Bears still suck. LMFAO. Thank you, Rob Cortez. John gets for buck on Rumble. Can the Chiefs avoid a wide receiver injury this week for once? Imagine if Juju and the others get healthy. They might have a crazy good core by season's end. He had 130 yards that one game, then immediately injured. Like, they have been fucked in terms of those skill position injuries. The Chiefs just have been, and they've continued to overcome and win.
Mm-hmm.
So, it is what it is. Beardo, what do you got going on?
Just gonna watch some Red Zone, eat some food, and playing some Call of Duty. It's actually really good. I've been enjoying the new Call of Duty Black Ops. So, and yeah, just some Geeks and Gamers stuff. So that's pretty much it.
There you go. All right, guys, that is going to be it for us. Go enjoy the games, or if you don't want to, fuck it and don't. Not exactly sure, but we will be here tomorrow for Monday Evening Quarterback. It's back on because we're both in town. So we'll go over all the games, what we got right, what we got wrong, and what we did not see coming at all in any way, shape, or form. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.